Alright. Suppose we could go ahead and begin. Let's see, where last we left off. I believe our heroes had recently gone to a party. And on the way back, Conrad, with Date and Arm, uh, hears a bloody murder in an alleyway and goes to investigate, finding the body. The alleyway is clean and proper, as it should be in a district full of the wealthy. This leaves plenty of room for the blood to sink into the stone and tinge it red permanently. The man wears a black and white suit, has a tall top hat, and a white mask in his hands. Conrad, you recognize him as one of the energetic poets at the secret society last night, by garb alone. There is an axe in his back and a note beside him.
And I'm not with anybody else like Alexa.
No, the rest of the party isn't here, but you did have your girlfriend who I might have to go find the name of.
If you'll recall correctly, Alexa was offended by the nobles bashing basically her, and said, "I'm going home. I feel offended and sad." And that was the guy that was like, "No, no, you should stay here." And I'm like, "Oh, no, thank you. I'm gonna go home now, please." So she left.
Would this be Lady Mildred Morgane? That's the name I have written down.
Say that again?
Mildred Morgane?
Mulder Morgani. Okay, yes, that is your current acquaintance. You were going home with her. Or taking her home, anyway.
Yes, I think it might now be time to take her to a constable soon about this body and this note, because Conrad can't read it.
Well, the note is more or less simply a piece of paper with a purple hand on it. Let me go ahead and take a look and see. Yes, it is a purple hand printed upon it, still wet and bleeding ink.
Chilling. So come with me, my Lady Morgane, and he will go look for a constable to go tell about this body.
As you're doing that, she sort of like kneels next to him and goes, I know who he is. He's Sir Manu Weber. I can't believe this happened to him. And of course, as you were turning to try to find a constable, you hear from across the alleyway, half drunken, half slurred speech of, "Hey, you! Bad guy, stay right there!" As a rather drunken guardsman points at you from across the alleyway and begins to rush over.
We shouldn't run from the guards, so let's stay put.
She attempts to take the mask and hide it in her side purse before the guard gets here.
Good idea.
And when the guard arrives, he looks at you two and goes, "Aha! Caught you right at the scene of the crime. Yeah, I did. Gonna get promoted for this one. You just stay right there while my partner gets here."
Where's your partner?
And within a matter of seconds, his partner rounds the corner, his face in his palm, and sighing, "God damn it, Benny. They're obviously not the murderers."
Thank you, Goodman, for having a calm head upon your shoulders.
I apologize for my compatriot. He's a bit out of regulations right now.
Yes, he seems quite zealous for his job.
You don't mind if I ask you a few questions, if you happen to have seen anything, or if you just stumbled upon this?
I have just found this body in this state. There's a note here. I cannot read it, but there is a marking on it you might find useful in knowing.
He looks down at it and picks it up. There, as I said, there's no real writing on it. It just a purple hand in and of itself, and he looks at it and goes, this is what I was afraid of. I thought the killings were just happenstance before. Now they're linked to chaos. There's a cult around here. You have to put an end to it. And he
Conrad
sort of
will
looks
not.
you up and down, like into your armor and weapons, and just kind of goes, Don't suppose you'd help us in the search, Sir Knight, if I'd be correct.
I'm but a squire for now. My master was quite old-fashioned, but yes, I would be quite willing to help you.
Excellent. We could use a little extra help. And milady, uh, you can run along and head home.
Well, would you be amiss if I escorted her back? Because it is, there's been a murder. It's quite dangerous out tonight.
Of course. Uh, the guard post is simply down the way, right around that corner. Please, whenever you have the time.
Thank you, Captain.
All
He
right.
never introduced himself as Captain. I'm just guessing.
He kind of goes like, "Oh no, nope, just Daniel. Don't have much of a title yet."
Very well, Daniel. I will be back as soon as I can.
All right. And you and Morgan will I'll walk back around the corner towards her home. And she seems just a little bit shaken. Ooh, this is unfortunate.
Yes, I'm very sorry you had to see that.
Well, no, it's more unfortunate because he was just at Brant's party.
True.
Undoubtedly, they might connect the two together and accuse him of some foul play.
Well, he was at the party the entire night, and we were the only ones to leave early, so, well, not counting my friend who didn't do this, I don't think. Oh, that axe did not look like one of Alexa's did it.
You didn't take a look at it yet.
Oh, shit. I'll just have to get a better look at it once I get back to the guard post.
Okay. Uh, So, where before she seemed like she was perhaps ready to give you a good night kiss, here she seems too shaken to engage in much of anything. Sir Knight, thank you for the wonderful evening. It's been a it's been a pleasure listening to your tales.
And it's been a pleasure being your company this night, my madam. Perhaps I could see you again under better circumstances.
Oh, I'd be delighted. But please, for now, do what you can to preserve the honor of Sir Weber.
Yes. I shall try to see that he is avenged.
Thank you. And with that, you two part ways for the time being. So you will be heading towards the guard post. While that happens, let's go ahead and at least dip in on the other two and get an idea of what they plan for the day. Alexa,
Um, I'm going to
um,
like
well, give me a moment here, real quick. Just need to clear my throat and read this dialogue here. Ah, gotta take a drink for that one. Um, with the green moonlight barely coming in underneath the curtain, you fall asleep this night.
okay.
In your dreams, you see the sun rising high over the Midden Mountains. 5 times you see an eagle rise and the sun rise and an eagle cross the sky, and 5 times you see the arrow fly that strikes it. A single feather falls into your palm, and over the hill you see a proud woman in armor upon her horse, furred lance and shield at the ready. The light that illuminates her is not the sun any longer, but the fiery shroud of some handsome, golden-haired Northman. When you awake, you realize that the curtain is open as the sun hits your face.
You kind of cut out there for the sun is coming from
Oh,
not.
oh, let's see. Where that left off, the light that illuminates her is not the sun any longer, but the fiery shroud of some handsome, golden-haired Northman. And when you awake, you realize that the curtain is open as the sun hits your face.
I will have some kind of like wow, kind of weird religious almost revelation, and say, "Oh, I have seen the the sunrise today. My wish did come true."
And fortunately, you did head home from the party early and actually have an acceptable amount of sleep today.
Yay! Well, no rest for the wicked, I guess. I don't know. But either way, I'm still kind of like maybe semi-religious experience.
Mhm.
So she'll kind of think on it, and I guess basically just continue to do repairs and work on the armor that she has.
Okay. Greybelt is up bright and early as always, working on the forge and lighting the fires. And when you awake, he's ready to resume your training in full.
Okay. If he wants to talk, I'll say, well, the party was awful. There were a bunch of assholes. I don't want to go back again.
I know, right? Can barely stand some of them at sometimes. That's why I try not to go, despite Brant's protest.
Yeah,
Always likes to see every artist there that he can, but, well, with that sort of crowd, what can you do?
they're really rude. But okay. Yeah.
Well, rude, that's true. But they speak their minds in such a way that they have, well, no filter when it comes to the likes of us.
It's not. We're the ones that make their armor and bake their bread and clean up their mess.
Darn straight, we deserve more respect. And that's why I charge them, a nice premium price.
Yeah, that's one way to stick it to him. But she'll, I guess, after everything that happened, too, with the pillar and the party and the rest of it, she's kind of just like, I just want to do a normal day's worth of work. I want to think on the dream I had and just, yeah, just keep.
Normal day work is definitely what you can get here.
Mhm.
Only thing is, do you tell him about your dream at all?
I'll kind of mention, because I don't recall, like, yeah, I didn't tell him about the pillar because that's something she doesn't even really want to think about. But yeah,
Of
it's like I
course.
had this really interesting dream about the sun and um, about a hawk 5 times being stricken down and a feather. And there was this woman on a horse on a hill, and I couldn't see her face, and she seemed to glow with the sun. And there was this golden man behind her, or something. It was really, really vivid and spectacular.
Well, you did wake up with the sun in your eyes. Undoubtedly, it was just the light on your face striking into your mind. Can't be nothing more than that.
Didn't seem like chaos to me, so I don't know.
Though I know a
Maybe.
lot of the nobles that come through put a lot of stock in their dreams, you know. Even go to the college and have some of the Order of the Heaven tell them what it means. As
Oh,
if there's some divine meaning behind every single thing that they think up.
do that?
Of course. Magic types, well, at least that type understands
Oh.
dreams and omens from what I understand. They can tell your fortune too if you want it, though not many people are happy with that, and I sure as hell wouldn't.
Yeah. Although, well, it's something to think about, but for now, there's work to be done. As a side note,
Mm-hmm.
Alexa is probably going to seek out the mages, I guess, to again just to get that dream meditation going, but only after she's done her work, and only after she's finished what she was doing. But she does know where the college is, so I suppose we can wait if other folks do anything first.
Yeah, just gotta clear my sinuses here. Okay, so you do at least have a plan, and you will spend most of your day working as it is.
Yep.
Or at least that's a plan if nobody comes and bothers you.
Can I do 2 checks to see if I can repair Lash's helmet?
Absolutely. Go ahead and do your checks.
Dang it. Okay. Yep, I'm
So
still
close.
in train. But
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta get the talent for sure here.
Yep. That's okay. It's worth a try. Anyway,
All right. And now a quick peek on Lash. Lash, you left the pillar fairly early in the night and actually have managed to go back home and get some sleep.
Right. Well, because I went looking for something and I couldn't find it.
Exactly. But it is bright and early, and you can go looking for it again.
Actually, I'm gonna go look for Victor first.
Okay. You go ahead and look for Victor, and last you knew, he was still at the Drowned Rat. Using the free room he had at that.
Right.
And when you approach and knock at the door, you hear Victor's voice from the other side and go, "Oh, who is it?"
It's me.
"Oh, hi, Lash. I'm a little bit indisposed at the moment.
How long is it gonna take you?
Well, it looks a little nasty. I'm not sure how long that's gonna last.
I draw my
Also,
bow.
I'm not wearing pants at the moment."
Oh, never mind. I don't draw my bow. Seems like you've got your bow drawn. I'll wait in the gathering area, whatever you call that place.
I don't quite want to go down, but if you'll give me a minute, I'll let you in.
Okay.
And he'll go ahead and shuffle around. You can hear like the obvious grunts of him like moving around. And then he finally opens the door, and when he opens the door, he is of course fully clothed, but on his neck you see a bit of a rash that's obviously climbed the rest of his body. And he is in the process of constantly trying to scratch at his chest and groin.
Well, that doesn't look good.
Ah,
Also, I mean,
not
he
at
opens
all.
the door and sees me, and I'm heavily injured, so.
You don't look too good yourself.
No, I was planning on going to see a doctor. Maybe you should come with.
Maybe. I don't know if I want to spend the coin on it, but
Well, we'll see how
maybe
much
I'll
it
have to.
is. Maybe if I can afford it still, I'll help you out.
Don't suppose you got a cloak in that bag or something, do you?
I hold on. I am a purveyor of multiple. No, he wouldn't want it. It's covered in shit if it was. No, I do not.
What's worse, walking through town with an embarrassing rash over yourself?
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm wearing a tattered
Covering yourself in
cloak.
shit.
I'll just give you my tattered cloak.
Oh gosh, the smell. I'll have to just live with it. And he just sort of, frowns a little bit, puts it on, and, it resigns himself. Right, so, doctor.
Well, first, and a quick amendum to subject 1A of the 31-part list that I sent you. Not drought, politis. I meant to write down politis. I wrote down drought for some reason.
Right.
maybe
Okay,
drop.
so cultist is much, much easier to find.
It's actually, in the population of Middenheim, very easy, which is a plus 30 to find.
Right. It's to the point where I'm going to go, you don't even need to roll. In fact, you've already been to a physician, and you know where he lives.
Well, I wouldn't have been rolling. There's a reason why Victor's here.
Exactly. And Victor, despite his terrifying rash that makes some people want to step slightly away and then also laugh at him, nonetheless, he's capable of finding a physician.
Given
Especially the one that
Victor's
you had been to before.
given Victor's problem, does it seem
Mhm.
like Victor could use a poultice as well?
Let's see. I'm trying to remember the exact rules that were there for physicians curing things, but
Well,
generally,
basically, they're just like if you're heavily injured, using a poultice will make them roll for healing as though you were just normally injured.
right. And here I think the rules, as far as disease go, is that if you have a physician or someone heal you with a healing check, it will reduce it by a single day.
When used in
So
conjunction with a
apparently he
heal
has like a
test on
time
a
limit.
subject who is heavily injured, the subject counts as lightly wounded for that heal test, thereby regaining 1d10 wounds instead of a single wound.
Right. Well, yeah, for the wounds,
Well, that's the entire point.
Yeah. Did Victor get much injured from that? Oh yeah, he's actually fairly injured from last night.
But
He has
not
bites and
heavily?
scratches all over his legs.
But is he heavily injured?
No, he's at 4 wounds.
Alright, then he doesn't need it. So just a
Very
normal
good.
doctor will work for him. Yeah, okay, so I buy a healing
Indeed.
drought, and then we go off to find a doctor.
Okay. And of course you find the doctor you had met before. And he seems both happy and disappointed to see you again. God, just look at the two of you. What have you been doing? Patch you up and you just fall right back apart. Get in here.
Not apart.
What'd you say?
I said I'm not apart anyway, yeah, keep going.
Look, get in here. And he'll take you inside and clean up your wounds, stitch you two up, and start talking about how much it's going to cost as well in the meantime.
Yeah, 120 silver shillings.
Right. I'm
Which
gonna make sure to subtract that off of Victor's as well.
Oh,
real
okay.
quick.
Well, then I'll just re-add 3 gold crowns back to my sheet. As I had offered to buy it, but if Victor is doing it himself, then who am I to stop him? Just know
Oh, well,
for the
Victor isn't
sake...
a cheapskate, he's just poor.
Yeah, just know for the out-of-character context, I was in the midst of paying for him when he proffered his own money.
Oh, yes, and Victor is just, like, doing it more than happily. Not even assuming that others would at all do anything for him like that.
Well, I mean, we did have a conversation where I said, okay, if I have enough, I'll pay for you. But okay, we'll
He
ignore
may have
that
forgotten
happened.
about that immediately.
Yes, literally a moment ago.
Short stature, short memory.
Alright, so make them healing
But as he
rolls.
patches it up, your doctor will sort of talk to you a little bit and kind of go, I don't know what you're doing out there, but whatever it is, it's a dangerous game. You can't just keep doing this every other day, you know?
I
It's gonna
literally
take a toll
can.
on your body.
That's fine.
You're an elf, you know. You live hundreds of years.
Am I? I didn't know I was told that by everybody who's literally ever seen me.
Well, I'm telling you that because you don't want to spend your next 100 years with an arm that doesn't work like it ought to. At least if you're a human, you'd die young and not have to care about it anymore.
Look at the camera. And only the good die young. Do.
And then the audience goes ahead and starts applauding, and whooping. Now I'm serious. You ought to take it easy for a few days. At least, let your body fully recover before you go and break everything again.
Doc, I ain't got time to bleed.
Ah!
It's
He just
funny
breathes
because it's
a
true as
big
well.
sigh.
I ain't got time to bleed. I've got to govern Minnesota poorly.
Bum fights to organize.
I'm gonna patch you up one way or another when you come back next. I'm gonna start charging you for the lectures.
Well, that's fine.
just
I'm not
smirks a
going to
little
pay
bit.
for them, so. Anyway, give me that healing roll. I need to know how bad off I still am.
All right. What kind of check do they have?
Just a
I need to figure
D10.
that out.
You just roll me a D10, and that's how many heals I get.
Oh yeah, that's right. Boop.
And you might want to roll one for Victor as well.
Oh yeah, very poor. Ah, he doesn't get very far at all.
And
But he does heal one naturally, so. Oof, hiccups.
Yeah, because you didn't start heavily wounded. I did, which means I only heal 1 a week. But now I'm normally wounded. I'm only 3 away from max, which means I'll heal again 1 point tomorrow. Let's see.
Excellent.
That covers chapter 1. Then on to chapter 2, unless you want to move to somebody else.
Maybe in just one moment. This is not a great day for my airways at the time being.
I know what you mean. Don't feel bad. So, I don't know if it's worth sharing, but there was a furry channel that I'm a part of, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody, Merry Christmas," and then I linked the thing from Home Alone where he's like, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal."
I have been seeing Macaulay Culkin in all of my video streams lately.
I know he was in the AVGN, and then he was Red Letter
Yeah.
Media. Like, yeah,
Well, he was in Red Letter Media first.
Yeah, and then he was also on
back.
Joe Rogan.
Well, I don't know if he's like doing a tour to advertise his band or something. Because AVGN, he was the pizza guy, and his band is pizza something. So I don't know. It's just weird that he's everywhere now, out of nowhere.
Yeah, like I first saw him on Joe Rogan a couple months ago, and now then he was on Red Letter Media, then he was on AVGN. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah. Anyway.
Oof. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and go to back to Conrad. You find your way to the guard post, correct?
Correct. I did have a question of what was the name of the murder victim again?
Sir Manu Weber.
Spell the first name, please.
All right, give me 1 second on that. Oh no, what terrible thing did I do to my Roll20? I'm in responsive design mode, help me.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna put it into this chat over here and then reload real quick. I pressed buttons and terrible things happened. Okay, now the terrible things are back. So, you head to the guard post, and, once you arrive there, the guards have it's a very small little building. It's a little bit like a sentry tower, you would say. It's about 2 stories, made of stone, meant to try to look over the buildings around it, but instead it's just simply at their height, because all the nobles will, undoubtedly want their homes tall and proud, and, well, rendering the guard post mostly useless except as a place for the guards to sit and rest. Inside, it's roughly 1 room wide, with a table in the center and a locker on the side. The locker is currently wide open, with both Daniel and Benny over the table, with a small map of the district, of which a few red X's have been placed. One of them is, of course, brand new. Ah, glad you could make it, Sir Squire.
You may
Or perhaps first name basis might be better here.
may call me Conrad.
Very well, Conrad. I'm glad you've come to assist us, and I'm ashamed to have to ask for it.
Well, it's my honor to, do what duty I can to help those who need.
Well, of all the people, the nobles don't need very much, but, well, several of them have died recently, and it's not looking very good for us. This murder seems to fit the profile of the last few ones that we've had through here, and we're fairly certain it's the same man. But we haven't seen not even his breath around the corner yet. Every time we find a body, he's been long gone since. We've asked a few of the other guard posts to keep an eye out for suspicious people entering the district at night, but they haven't seen anything either. So it's our assumption currently that he must be getting in through some other means in the streets.
Yes,
And to all of this, Benny is just sort of drunkenly nodding, and you can see like he has an open bottle next to him,
yes,
of which he takes a sip at every factoid.
yeah, that gets a frown from Conrad, but he will say, it sounds like these people might be going to the sewers.
That's a possibility, but if it's down there, there's not much that we can do. It's hard enough to get down into there, and harder still to actually track anyone through all that filth. I'm just surprised he comes out clean.
Well, I've had some experience in your sewers in the past, so if you would allow me to call upon some friends of mine, I might be able to do so again, with your permission.
Oh, you've had to be down there? My apologies.
None needed. I was just doing my duty.
If you have friends, that would be fantastic. We could use more eyes to keep an eye on the district. And I'm sure we
Certainly.
could possibly talk something off with the bailiff or the night guard to repay you for your efforts. They might understand the state of emergency, but we're simply short-handed as it is.
Yes, it's been quite busy for you folk these days, I imagine, with the Chaos Army coming and all.
Yes, they're still out there, and the Lord's only hope that Toddbringer comes back successful, having tracked down every single one of those cultists. And perhaps that Kazakh one-eye he keeps going on about too while he's at it.
That witch?
Kazakh One-Eye, is an orc of ill repute, a warlord that has harassed Middenheim for some time. I believe he took his eye. Toddbringer's, that is.
Fucking Toddy!
He took my fucking eye!
Guys are funny.
I shall have to perhaps speak to this Sir Tuddy. But for now, my duty lies with your sewers, so if you could give me a key to the sewer grates, I will be sure to return it when I no longer need it.
Of course, of course. Benny, could you get that from the locker? And to that, Benny kind of like drunkenly nods and swaggers over to the locker, and returns not only with the keys, but with 3 axes. Ah, I almost forgot to show you these. Whoever's doing these likes to leave one of these in his back. Just look at them. Each of them is, of course, covered in blood, and one of them is still dripping it, and now dripping it onto the map.
May I? And he will reach for them and then try to move them away from the map if they let him take it. Take them.
Okay.
Do these look like the kind that Alexa uses, or are they like of a different make?
Give me a moment. Third is dying here again. I wish this would stop. Okay. So you look at the axe, and the axe is simple and adorned with a stylized DT on the bottom of the handle as a trademark. A guild symbol for craftsmen is opposite of the signature. There is a... Oh, yes. And that would be describing the body, but the body is no longer here. Okay. Yes. So, a simple axe with DT and the guild mark on it. It does not seem quite similar to Alexa's, though you do recall at least that the guild mark is present on most things in the city.
Yes, he may have to go and check out this guild and see what they know. Would you mind terribly helping me draw these markings so I have some reference? Because I would be loath to take your evidence away.
To that, Benny kind of puts up his thumb and goes, "Already on it." And he actually pulls out a piece of parchment, of which he has already drawn it. And it looks incredibly faithful and accurate to the representation.
Thank you, officer. That is very much appreciated.
Anything for a shining night. I should get some sleep. And to that, Benny clocks out directly on top of the table. And Daniel sighs.
It's better this way. Now he's no longer in your way, my good sir.
He's still on top of the map. I'm just gonna leave him here. He'll wake up eventually. Well, if you come back with your friends, I'll try to form up a bit of a plan to watch the district. How many friends do you have?
I have 3. Well, 4 counting the halfling, but
So 3.5.
yes. He doesn't do much traveling with us these days. He's more of a consultant. But he's a welcome consultant. He has a sharp mind.
He just kind of looks over at Benny and goes, "Yeah, we could use a little bit more of that around here."
Yes, if brains were swords, drink would be rust.
Still, I'll leave you to your business. I still have to file this report. Gotta write this all
Yes,
out.
officer. Good luck to you. May your hand not cramp.
I hope to see you again soon. I need the help. Please.
Yes, I will get on this as soon as I can, sir. And with that, Conrad will take his leave and I guess go back to the inn for the night so he can go look for Lash and Alexa and Conrad, not Conrad, what's Gustav and now I can't remember the halfling's name, Victor.
Okay. So you had Lash first on your list. Are you gonna go to him first?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and check in on Lash real quick. Lash, you had more things you wanted to go look for.
31 part list.
Yes, you do. All right.
Wow.
Subsection 2. Let's hit it.
Subsection 2, heading A. Well, you got a Victor, so you found him.
Yeah, I mean,
and
we
now you
skipped
need to-
steps there.
Yes, indeed. Do you have the rarity of it on you?
Yeah, I already told you. It's going to be a -10.
Okay, and Victor is at a -10 currently because he is in fact still ill at the moment.
Is there
Even
an
though
aid
it is-
rule in this game? Can I aid him in this?
Good question. I'm gonna say yes. And if you succeed your gossip check, you get him a +10.
See, that's what doesn't make sense, because if I succeed my gossip check, I don't need him. So that's
You
why
can-
aid doesn't make sense if in that regard.
You can say that a single person adds an extra +10, that you're kind of working
That's
off each
also
other.
true. Well, yeah, let's just go with the U system and add +10. And that will at least counteract the -10 he has for being sick with an embarrassing rash. And with the additional +10 for finding it in the city, that just comes out to a total of 10, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Or-
You have a total of -10. You have your own -10. I'm giving you +10, so that's 0. But the rarity of the item is a large city like this is a -10, so you have a -10 total.
Okay. I thought you said the rarity was +10.
No,
There we go.
-10. I wish it was +10, but that's like 2 degrees the other direction.
If only. Well, here's Victor attempting to find it for you. Let's see if he can find it today. It's a success. He does, in fact, manage to find it. There is, in fact, a small elven kith band in town right now, and they have actually taken to a corner of the central park.
Perfect. Well, I'll head that way.
When they see a fellow elf approaching, they're more than happy to greet you. Ah, greetings, child. How are you doing?
I will speak to them in Eltharian, because I don't never get to use it. Thus, making sure that nobody around can hear me. Make a fool of myself, possibly.
Of course. Victor just like, wow, elven language.
But yes, I would like to purchase one of your elf bows from you, if I might be able to.
Of course. Let's see what you got already. I'm sure it's just some bare twig some human plucked up, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I'll
So go
show
ahead
him
and
my
take-
short bow.
Yeah. She'll go ahead and take a look at it and go, ah, well, I guess this doesn't a pinch. Let's get you something real. Something useful.
Well, this is, say this out of character. This is a shame, because really, you're supposed to make your own elf bow. But what I'm doing here is pulling the Luke Skywalker, in which case, a Jedi is supposed to make their own lightsaber. Yes, well, Luke used somebody else's lightsaber for a good period of time.
You know, sometimes the rules are meant to be bent a little bit, and, well, nobody's gonna call you out on it necessarily.
Right,
You can always make your own later.
eventually. But it's such a
Eventually.
high quality item that it's never going to happen. Within the scope
The
of the
elf
game.
addressing you is just gonna shrug and kind of go, ah, well, you're just a kid. You got plenty of time. Just, in the next century or so. I'm sure you can get around to it by then, can't you?
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. And she'll pull out one and go, ah, this one. Ah, this one's a nice and special one. Crafted it just a few months ago, in fact. The tree was in full bloom, and you can even see where the petals have embedded themselves in the wood. And you know what the price is. You're looking at it right in the book.
Yep, 70.
What does it say? 70. And of course, she is offering it for 70 gold crowns.
Perfect. I'm not going to haggle with an elf. I exchanged 70 gold crowns.
All right. She counts it out and just sort of nods her compatriot and jingles the bag in their direction, and they give sort of a little bit of a whoop of excitement. Ah, pleasure doing business with you. Talashian, isn't it?
That is it. And your name was?
I'll have to come up with a name later, but please remind me about it. But she does give it to you freely.
Okay. I now have an elf bow.
We're likely to be here the next couple of months if you're needing anything, or, well, a little bit of company other than some smelly humans. At least you got a halfling, so that's an improvement on it.
Yeah. Not all humans.
Not all humans. Ugh, but it smells like you could use a bath yourself.
I do what I must to survive.
Don't we all? And at around this time, Conrad is coming towards the Great Park to look for you, and of course spies you among a bunch of elves. Victor is waving his arms frantically, trying to get Conrad's attention, and eventually manages to do so after about a whole minute. Conrad.
Once Conrad sees Victor waving, he'll come over. And if Lash is still talking with the elves, he'll be as quiet as he can to respect them.
The elves sort of gently ignore you and go about their business at this point.
Victor, Conrad, have you heard the news? Not, damn it. Victor, Lash, have you heard the news?
Pie Week is in a month?
Well, there is that, but something more recent has happened.
No.
Oh, what's happened?
There's been a murder in the Grafsman district.
Craftsman, isn't that where all the rich guys are?
Yes. We've been hired to look into it, and from what I understand, there will be pay involved.
How much?
I haven't been told yet, but
That's like literally the first thing you're supposed to be told, Conrad.
well, you see, somebody besides the constabulary will be paying, and they have yet to have been told about this. So we
you haven't been hired.
Start
then.
looking tentatively.
Well, I mean, we've been hired by the bailiff before, haven't we?
Yes.
But he said somebody other than that. Also, tentatively hired, you don't work. I don't do work on tentatively.
Right. So we should, once we find Alexa and Gustav, go and speak to the constabulary, and you can learn what you need. And we will see if they've made the arrangements to have us paid yet. Out of character, Griffin. There is somebody else who's getting involved in getting us paid for this, right? It's not going.
As far as they've said that they would attempt to talk to the bailiff or the night watchman to get you some payment.
Okay, just making sure I had that right. And
right.
Conrad will, of course, convey this information of who's who and who's getting what from whom and who's getting it to us.
Right, which is all a bunch of hand waving right now because nobody is paying us because no one's been talked to. Conrad's giving us a possible job that might exist. That's how I'm responding to it as Lash. Like,
Well,
there's no
by
money
the sounds
in that.
Of it, paid or not, it sounds like they hired you to look for the murder, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm still halfway to bloody murder, I think. I think I'm going to sit that one out and just sort of rest my wounds, if you don't mind.
Of course. I would not want you injuring yourself again, and you look like you're a bit inclement right now.
You see him sort of scratching all over himself and goes, just a little bit.
Yes, you may want to put some cream on that.
Well, the doctor did, but it didn't help.
Did he tell you what you had?
Oh, yes, he said it was the... Go and pull up the page. The Krutz. I remember a friend of mine had the Krutz once after a evening with someone. And they both had it. Locked themselves up for a whole week.
And
It doesn't last nearly as long.
got the crotch crickets.
Very much so. By description, the Krutz is, in fact, just, a rash that tends to happen around that region.
Oh no.
So, It is quite embarrassing, and its quote is -10 agility and -10 fellowship.
For 5 days.
Yep, depending on your toughness checks and doctor assistance. And given all that, Flash, while you're talking, you do see someone is approaching your tent. Looks like another child messenger.
Okay, I guess I'll go over there.
You can see he's kind of debating if he wants to try getting close to your tent or staying far away from it.
You there, child. What do you want?
Oh, hello there, Elf. Are you the one who lives in that tent over there?
Yes.
Are you Talashin?
Sometimes.
Oh, I have a message for you. It's from the bailiff.
Okay.
Says he wants to see you right away.
Okay.
It's a, let's see. Is a matter of, great importance of events you've recently been involved in.
Good to
That's
know.
all they told me.
Alright, thanks.
He'll cough a little bit and, like, hold out his hand.
Oh. Oh, it's going around, is it?
Oh, yes, yeah, the copper plague, you know. You just can't help it.
This kid's got plague! My run.
You cheapskate! Damn elves!
Don't go near that kid, he's got the plague!
Can't even give a boy a tip!
I run to
And
the
you
bailiff.
run off.
Yeah, towards the bailiff.
Towards the bailiff. When you arrive, the guardsmen are expecting you this time, and they let you in without much of a hassle. They guide you towards the bailiff's chambers, where, he has a nice little office set up. Ah, Lash, thank you for coming. And, Bailiff Jacob Frankfurt will, step up and, offer his hand to shake it real quick.
Sure, I'll shake it. That's when he had a joy buzzer attached to his hand.
So, again, I have to thank you for the work that you've, done for the city, and I've been reading a few of the reports of, my men. A few of them said that you, were at some... You were investigating a cellar with them before. Just a few days ago.
Yeah. I killed a few Skaven down there.
Skaven. What do you know about the Skaven?
I relayed to him everything that I know about the Skaven, having successfully passed that check a while back.
Okay. He sort of nods and listens and goes, ah. Well, you've done good honest work for the people of Middenheim and shown full prejudice against the menace below. And it is unfortunate that I should have to tell you about that the problem is greater than it appears. They have long infiltrated our city and, established connections with criminals, blackmailed our nobles and, merchants, and eavesdropped on every political move we've ever made. They do it in hopes of some end times when they shall rise up and, take the surface, but more often they do so for their own profit and glory among their own kind. It is disruptive to our great city, to say the least, and to the Empire at large. And the more plots we could put to an end, the better. And that is perhaps why I have called you here. You see, we like to keep the knowledge of the Skaven under wraps to avoid constant panic among the citizenry. But you've stumbled upon it, and, well, as an elf, I expect you'll probably be wandering on in some time. The word won't spread far from your lips, will it?
Well, unfortunately, I think I'll be staying here for at least some time. I have many a business thing I need to take care of.
Fair enough, but, well, you still know more than others, should at the moment. and that is why I would like to hire you once more.
What are you
What I'd
thinking,
like you to
Sir
do-
Bailiff?
What I'd like you to do is to stake out the Grafsmund and Nordgarten districts, and use whatever you've learned fighting these creatures to identify whom they may be targeting, and bring the rats to a righteous end if you can. I'll give you a reward on your report. I'll be following up on any information that you bring me. I'd like it if Todbringer could return to a city where his highest council need not fear of the hold the rats have over their kin.
I ponder for a moment, and then clear my throat and say, Sir Bailiff, it seems to me that you're a man... You're a man of great means, in control of a wide and great city. You would agree, yes?
I am not the lord of the city, only in the interim. I manage it
Yes.
for Sir Todbringer.
Does not negate a thing that I've said, but agreed. I have shown to you that I am capable, yes?
Indeed you have.
I mean, apparently he agrees, but in the process of saying such, I mean, I'll pull out my gathered Skaven tales to show that I've made numerous Skaven kills.
Ah! Damn tails.
Seeing as you've placed this project upon me, I would have but one request, one reward I would seek above all others.
And what is that, Sir Elf?
I require a full set of leather armor of best quality.
He smiles a little bit.
I
Well, armory's a bit more bare these days than I would wish, but I could certainly arrange its commission for you.
That's all I would ask. I need no more reward for past accomplishments or future accomplishments. This is all I require.
Excellent.
As well as garnering full safety of my continued silence on this matter to anyone other than yourself and your appointed charges.
I would hope for no less, and I shall guarantee you your reward on your report. I look forward to have plenty of rats to root out from this city soon.
And clap my hands together. Perfect.
If there's any assistance you may be needing, you may come to me personally. I shall tell the guards to allow you in to meet with me whenever you wish. Except the dead of night. I've been told that you wanted to speak with me. However, I do need some sleep more than ever these days.
I was more than willing to wait. It was your guards that were not willing to allow me to wait.
Well, they have their orders, and, well, they won't throw you out next time. I guarantee you that.
Very well then. I shall meet with you in a day or two's time. I don't know exactly how long this will take, but I am sure I've made enemies down there. As we know, Skaven are afraid of elves.
Whenever you have anything you wish to report, I will be here.
I shall endeavor to make it a report worthy of a full leather armor set of best quality.
Just pumping him for money, aren't you?
Nope. Specifically for a full leather armor set of best quality.
Please be sure to write that down and remind me of it.
It's literally in a chat somewhere that we've had.
I'm sure it is. Alright, and so with that, you at least have your orders for the time being, and I believe Conrad wanted to also enlist Alexa in his current search.
Yes.